皆さんこんにちは。見るとワインが飲みたくなるチャンネル、ワインの時間 by セパージュ、ナビゲーターの秋元です。今日は素晴らしいゲストをお迎えしました。ボルドーのシャトーポンテカネとコニャックのテスロンの共同オーナーであるジュスティーヌ・テスロンさんです。
こんにちは。So I'm Justine Tesseron. Welcome to this audience. I'm glad to talk about the philosophy of Pontet-Canet and also Tesseron Cognac. So my family started in the cognac business. This is really how it started, the origin of my family. The cognac started with my great-grandfather, so 4 generations ago. And Pontet-Canet was acquired by my grandfather in 1975, so 50 years ago.
50 years ago.
Yes. So Pontet-Canet has always been a family business. It started 3 centuries ago. And in 3 centuries, this property knew only 3 families, which is quite rare.
続きまして、栽培と醸造について伺います。ボルドーの中でビオディナミ栽培をいち早く始めた、その辺のところを詳しく深掘りしたいと思います。
We have 81 hectares of vines, planted in Cabernet Sauvignon mostly.But we also have some Merlot, some Cabernet Franc, and some Petit Verdot. So the 4 grapes of the Medoc area. And Pontet-Canet is a classified growth in the classification of 1855. And we are located in Pauillac appellation, so the north of the Medoc.
Yeah.
So Pontet-Canet was knew a lot of changes, I would say, on the last 20 years. When in 2004, we started to work organic and biodynamic to improve the quality of the wines. Because we thought there were a better energy in the wine when we taste biodynamic wine.So that's why we decided to convert the vineyard. So in 2004, it was only on 30% of the vineyard, and mostly on the Merlot. And the Merlot were tasting much better from year 1. So we decided to convert the whole place, the whole vineyard, in 2005. And the goal was to be certified.To prove that it was possible to work like that in Bordeaux, and we've been certified in 2010, both organic and biodynamic. So it means that we don't use any chemicals. All the spray we use to protect the vines are natural because we use herbs and plants. We do some infusion and we spray those infusion to the vineyard that we can mix it with copper and sulfur as well. We are allowed to use some but small quantities, and we spray that in the vineyard to protect them against disease. So it's a lot of prevention. We work in prevention of the disease to help the vines to feel stronger enough so they can resist better against disease. And little by little the vines are more resistant. So we also work the vineyard with horses. We decided to introduce horses in 2008, so 15 years ago. Yes, already. And we at that time we started with 3 horses, and now we have about 10 of them. And yes, and the horses are working approximately on half of the vineyard, so on 40, a bit more, 40 hectares. And the other half we still have the tractors. But we wanted to introduce the horses to avoid the compaction of the soils, because the tractors are very heavy. So every time they go in the vineyard, they compact the soils. So that's why we decided to have horses. We also we did change. We did a lot of investments in the cellars. So we have new cellars for the vinification process. To give you an idea, now for 81 hectares we have about 100 vats, which is quite big, but they are very small. Each one is about 40 hectares and 40 hectoliters, sorry. And we have some of 80 hectoliters as well, so we can really be precise in the vinification process. And they have a special round shape. So like this, we don't have to intervene that much during the vinification process, because we don't want to have too much extraction. So what we like in the wine is to have, of course, good balance, but to have some freshness, some purity of fruit, a good energy, and I will talk about each vintage here to introduce them. But that's a little bit the way we work. But I would say that 99% of the work is made in the vineyard. What's happened inside is very little. So we try to let the wine going on, and even for the aging process, it used to be 100% in oak barrels, in French oak barrels, but since the vintage 2012, we decided to reduce a little bit the oak, because sometimes too much oak is like too much makeup. So we wanted to, yes, we wanted to keep, I told you, to keep the purity of it, the freshness. So that's why we decided to reduce the oak. And since the vintage 12, we have about 35% of the production, which is going into, which is aging into concrete. The rest is still aging in oak. So we have a good balance between the two. And we I forgot to talk about the harvest, but the harvest we do everything by hand as well. It's hand picking, it's also hand sorting, hand desteaming. So there is no machine to do it. It's very precise work.
それぞれのヴィンテージについてその特徴を伺っていきます。
If we talk about the wine, so here we have 2014, 15, 16, and 17, and the 4 vintages for me are very different. In Bordeaux, the weather condition, the forecast, give a real impact. But you know, in 2014, the weather were quite unstable, but fortunately we were able to pick ripe grapes, which is the most important. It's the key to success a wine. And 14 for me is a classic wine, ready to drink now. Beautiful fruit, a lot of freshness in this wine, very aromatic, and elegant. 15, in terms of weather conditions, we had more sun, so we will have a bit more concentration in the wine, a bit more complexity. I forgot to mention in 14 was the year of the certification by Demeter. So it's another certification in addition of the one we get in 2010. 15, yes, good wine to drink today as well. I recommend maybe to decant it a little bit before, so that always bring more accessibility to the wine. Very, actually here we have 4 beautiful wines, but I would say that each wine has its own personality, identity. 16, I think it's a wine which is very complete. The year in Bordeaux was really beautiful. So the wine is, I told you, very complete. It has a lot of complexity, a lot of depth, very aromatic, very pure, elegant. 17 was unfortunately not recognized as a beautiful vintage like 16, because we had a bit of frost late in the spring, but you know, most of the terroir surrounded by the river are protected, so all those terroir hasn't been affected by frost that much. So unfortunately, the image of this vintage was quite negative, but now everybody is talking about this vintage because the wine is tasting so well. It's a very easy to drink wine. You even don't need to have food with it. You know, you can drink it just like that to enjoy. It's a very fresh and easy wine. Fresh wine to drink. So, you know, the way we do the wine in Bordeaux has changed, and I think the wines are much more accessible in terms of taste than before. In the past, we used to wait for maybe 15 or 20 years sometimes to really enjoy the Bordeaux, but now the Bordeaux are very drinkable, let's say, in the youngness. Yeah. And even 17, which is a young wine, 17 is very good to taste.
Okay. それでは、2017年が今空いておりますので、こちらをテイスティングしてみたいと思います。
Cheers.
Cheers. もう香りからはクラシックなポイヤックらしい、熟成感もある土っぽい香り、あとスパイスの要素なんかも非常に感じられます。そして味わいなんですけれども、彼女は難しい年だって言ってたんですけれども、私の印象からすると決してその難しいっていうことが感じられない、すごく偉大な素晴らしいワインだなっていうのが第一印象です。で、ポイヤックのワインっていうと、すごくヘビー、力強いしっかりしたワインが非常に多いんですけれども、シャトーポンテカネからはですね、もちろんそのポイヤックらしいすごいしっかりとした味わいっていうのはあるんですけども、ただそれだけじゃなくて、すごい優しい柔らかいようなテクスチャーがあるんですね。それっていうのはやっぱり先ほどご説明あった通りビオディナミバイオダイナミックの栽培のブドウから来る部分っていうのもありますし、あとは多くの樽を使う量を減らして、それをコンクリートのアンフォラ、それを使うことによってすごい優しい口当たりテクスチャーに、仕上げてるっていうことが挙げられます。 優しいんですけれども、すごく長く続く上品な余韻があって、その辺の要素が他のボルドー、ポイヤックのワインと異なるそのポンテカネの唯一無二のアイデンティティを生み出しているところじゃないかなと思います。
In 2017, that year actually, we built a new bathroom for the vinification process, and the vats are all in concrete, but it's a shape that we design ourselves, and the concrete is made with the soil of Pontet-Canet. So we took all the gravels, the sand, the gravels to make the concrete, and the size and the shape is very important, because of the shape there is a natural movement inside, so we don't have to work a lot the wine. We let the wine infuse, and we also use concrete amphora for the aging process since the vintage 12. And the concrete amphoras we use for the aging, they are much smaller. Each one is about 9 hectoliters. So we can do a precise aging process. And we age, I told you, about 35% into them. So the rest is staying in the barrels. It's staying the same amount of time. And then we do a blend all together after 14 to 18 months of aging, depending on the years. So I hope you will discover few vintages of Pontet-Canet, and I hope you will really like them. I say cheers to you, to your good health, and I hope to see you one day in Bordeaux. ありがとうございます。
さあ、シャトー・ポンテカネいかがでしたでしょうか。他のボルドーのシャトー、他のポイヤックのシャトーと明確な違いがあるというところをお分かりいただけたのではないかと思います。今日ご紹介したこの4つのヴィンテージはセパージュのウェブサイトで販売をしております。概要欄にリンクも貼っておきますので、そちらから詳細やお値段なんかをご確認いただくことができますので、ぜひこちらもチェックしてください。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。